Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Joy of Puzzles. Today I have for you, from the Disney Villainous Collection, Captain Hook. This puzzle was published in the year 2020 by Ravensburger, and I'll go through my Ravensburger spiel. Those regular listeners could skip ahead 15 seconds. Anyways, so Ravensburger, established in 1883. They were originally founded in Germany and released their first board game in 1884. For the next couple generations, 3 generations, they focused exclusively on educational publications and games. They didn't produce their first jigsaw puzzle until the 1960s. They are currently a $60 million company with over 2,000 employees around the world, most of which are in Europe. These folks do publish 2 of the largest commercially available puzzles in the world. They are 40,000 pieces, both of which are Disney themed, as they are a licensed Disney distributor. They measure 22.5 feet by 6.5 feet, and someday I hope to build one. The puzzle. Let's talk about Disney Villainous Captain Hook. The artist for the particular puzzle is not given because it is a team of artists. These scenes are taken from the 1953 movie published by Disney Studios. So if you want to see and give credit to all the folks that participated in making these iconic moments, rent that 1953 version and watch it with your kids. A little bit of trivia. So, the movie is originally based on a Broadway play. It was called The Boy Who Wouldn't Grow Up, but most people call it Peter Pan. It was written by J.M. Barrie, probably saying it wrong, and that opened in 1905, ran for 223 performances, and closed in 1906. It had a big influence on a lot of people. You read some of the history on this, and so many folks were involved in productions of this, either all the way down to the high school level to other more professional environments. So it was clearly an instant hit. Let's talk strategy. So I'm going to a little self-promote here, having just built the Hades, Evil Queen, Ursula, Queen of Hearts, Ratigan, Dr. Facilier, and Jafar puzzle in this series. I learned early on that making the border first is a colossal waste of time. It's not how I normally build puzzles, it's just this entire collection. That outer border is essentially monochrome with a couple lines in it. And it's just not worth the time, frankly. In the end, it was easier just to fit those in place. There are a couple little tricks to doing the border. The lines are not equally spaced from the edge, so once you figure out your distance, you can use that as a clue. There's also some color gradients. In a couple places there's shadows, so those become obvious starting points. And on a few of these puzzles there seems to be we'll call it a printer's mark, a thin purple line around the edge of the puzzle. I guess my guess is it's for alignment during the manufacturing process. Some of them have it, some of them don't. On the ones that do, it makes it super easy because their spacing from the edge of the puzzle is different on every edge. So if you run into one of those, the border will be very simple at any point with that line, but we held off to the end. The other part of the strategy is, well, pick your most iconic, brightest moment in the puzzle. So in the Captain Hook puzzle, it is I dare say, purplish red, kind of the game piece, along with Captain Hook himself. There's not much red in the puzzle except for him. And then from there, it's all the little pictures wrapped around him, all the little frames. Most of them are distinct enough that you can kind of build them individually, along with the colorful little bits that are inside each cell. You kind of build those independently, and in the end, you position them where they go, and then a little bit of hunt and peck to fill in the spaces in between. This was a 1,000-piece puzzle. The build time was 4.5 hours, which is, for these puzzles, just a smidge above average, but not, I mean, we'll call it average. Most have been around the 4 mark. So 4.5, it is what it is. It's just a slight variation on the general product line. Let's review the puzzle. I'm going to review the puzzle in 4 different categories on a scale of 1 to 5. The first category is the puzzle material quality itself. This is recycled paperboard. In general, recycled materials I would grade a 2, having built many of them, but Ravensburger does a great job, and this blue chip material, I'm definitely giving it a 3, which is arguably high praise for recycled material. My one little complaint, and I say it almost every time, is that, gosh darn it, it is full of this little dust that gets everywhere that you have to clean every surface afterwards. Anyways, it has been consistent, if nothing else. Alright, next category. The puzzle cut quality. Do the pieces fit together cleanly? Are they stuck together when they come out of the box? Can you close your eyes and know that the piece goes right there? Well, this is right where it should be, a 3. Perfectly average. There are instances and moments where you can fit pieces where they don't belong, but it's relatively obvious afterwards, and you don't have to undo portions of the puzzle afterwards because you found a piece in the wrong spot and was confident that it fit there. So right where it should be, wonderful, 3. Difficulty. Well, 1,000-piece puzzle, 4 hours, 4.5 hours, I gotta give that a 2. And part of it has become, we'll call it expertise. We've built so many of these that our strategy is pretty sound. We go through these puzzles really fast. There's this one coming up, and it'll be the next video, that is incredibly fast. So I can only give it a 2 for difficulty. It's just too many distinct images and pieces and framework and colors that it's only the very end where you do a little bit of hunt and peck to get this thing built. The final category, and the most subjective of them all, is frameability. If I was the type of person that would seal a puzzle and never build it again, would this make the list? Is it fine art? To answer all those questions, it's a 3. It's average. This is certainly artwork in the respect that there's lots of artists involved in creating all these images, but it's not exactly something you would find in a museum hanging up there. It is definitely poster quality. This is something that a young adult interested in the game would want to collect, would probably want them all, or maybe just their favorite villain, and hang it in their room. So it's a 3. I'll build it again, no doubt. So overall, all those scores in mind, what's the overall score? And in this case, it's a 3, just like all of these have really been. The quality is right where it should be. Difficulty, it's easy, and that's not a bad thing. And the images are iconic, and it's fun to build, especially with a puzzle that spans, where the story and the images spans such a long list of, I should say, generations. Right? You can build this with anyone, and probably most people have seen the movie and can relate to the film and have memories of watching it. Alright, as we come here to the end, you're going to see me take the edge pieces and put them in a little plastic baggie. That's just to save the next person a little bit of time, or me a little bit of time, of sorting those pieces out. Clearly they don't help building the puzzle, since it's the last thing I put on. But it's a habit, and gets them out of the way. And my other little pro tip is that put the puzzles in a big Ziploc bag at the end, and when you put them in the box, just so if the box falls or tips, that they don't spill out everywhere. When you own a lot of puzzles and that risk goes up, you can't imagine what it would be like if they all were to spill and be intermixed. Even though you could find all the pieces, how would you ever build those puzzles again? Alright, well, coming to the end here. Thanks everyone who watches these videos. If you like it, go ahead and click the like button. I appreciate everyone that takes 10 minutes out of their busy day to watch one of these videos. Thanks again. Look forward to bringing you more.